Croissants. Buttery, flaky, and oh so delicious. But not all croissants are created with the equal love and deliciousness. And today, I'm on the hunt to find the best croissant in Dhaka. Dhaka has like a lot of cafes and bakeries that do croissant. It's not possible for me to go to each and every one of them, but I have selected some of the most top cafes and bakeries to try out the croissants from. We're going to be trying the plain and simple butter croissant from these cafes or bakeries and be deciding which one has the best croissant. So I'm going to be rating the croissants based on flakiness, how buttery it is, if it has the subtle sweetness, because I like my croissants a little sweet, and chewiness. So without further ado, let's get started. First off, our croissant is Delifrance. So we took the regular butter croissant and this is what it looks like. Let's give it a cut and see what it looks like inside. I don't usually cut my croissants, I usually just take a bite, but we want to see the honeycomb and what it looks like inside. It's a solid honeycomb, it doesn't look bad. It's pretty nice, you can see the layers. Ooh, smells very buttery, a bit sweet. It smells like a croissant. It needs more butter. It needs more butter. It doesn't have the crispy outer crust. It's like very soft, very doughy. It's a bit on the savorier side. Like it doesn't have that slightly sweet undertone. Then I like to savory dig it. I would give this a 6. I'd give this a 6 out of 10. So this is a plain croissant from Coffee World. This is what it looks like from the outside. Let's see what it looks like on the inside, because what's inside matters the most. Not too nice, not the best honeycomb out there. Looks a bit bready. Let's give it a taste. Croissant from Coffee World. Very dry. Needs like a lot of butter. It doesn't have the crisp outside or the subtle sweetness. I think I'd give this a 3 out of 10 as a croissant. If this was a bread, it would get a solid 7. Because as a bread, it's nice, but as a croissant, it's not there yet. So our next stop is Ledor. This is the croissant from Lador. This is their plain croissant. It's actually one of the prettiest croissants so far. Looks very nice. It has a nice glaze on top. I really hope it's like flaky and crispy. Ooh, listen to that. I don't know if you can, but it has a nice crunch. Let's see what it looks inside. Looks like inside. Ooh, flaky, 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 flaky. This is what we have been missing. Ooh, nice and airy. Look at that honeycomb. This is the croissant we're gonna be trying from Ledor. Buttery, super flaky, nice crust, crispy crust outside, and that subtle sweetness that I have been hunting for, because I like my croissants a little bit sweeter, and this has delivered. I would give this a solid 8 out of 10. Like, it's superb. It's a good croissant. So we're here at our next spot, which is Emerald Bakery, for some butter croissant. This is one of my go-to cafes in Bonani, and I have good expectations from them, but I don't think their croissant is going to be that great, as far as I remember, but let's see. So our croissant is here. This is their regular butter croissant from Emerald Bakery. This is what it looks like.
Shaped nice. It has like stairs.
Like a perfect croissant shape. It has a nice crust actually. Maybe I spoke too soon and I dissed them too soon. Anywho, let's give it a cut. I'm gonna cut the marble. I don't want to cut the marble. Which way? This is what it looks like.
It has a nice honeycomb structure inside.
I want to open it. It has a nice honeycomb structure inside. Let's give it a bite. I think when a garam course the jacket was soft, it got heavier. Needs a bit more butter. Also, I think I would have liked if they didn't reheat it, like on its own, just how it came. The taste is actually nice. It has a bit of flake, a bit of crunch, chewiness. It needs a bit more butter, and that sweetness. I think I would give this a 7.5. out of 10. Not bad. Not the best, but not bad. On to the next one. So we're here in our next stop for our croissant, which is a Patisserie. This is like the newest cafe in town, and it's like a very visually pleasing cafe. Like, it looks very nice. I'm matching with their interior. So we're gonna be trying their butter croissant. It has a nice crust. Let's give it a nice cut and see how this is. Ooh. Is it too crispy though? I'm like a negative Nancy. Keep complaining and complaining. Look at the honeycomb inside. Yeah, it's nice. Take a bite. Croissant from is Patisserie. This one's actually very buttery. It's very flaky, as you can see. Very buttery, it's very flaky, but it's missing that subtle sweetness that I like in my croissant. But this is actually a very solid croissant. I would give this a 7.85. Like, it's up there. It's a good croissant. On to the next one. So we're here in Northern, one of the most classic cafes in Dhaka, and one of my go-to cafes to try their butter croissant. So we already cut the croissant in half. This is what it looks like. This is smaller than what we have had so far, but the honeycomb inside is actually very nice. So let's take a bite. Classic croissant, very flaky, very buttery with a slight sweetness. And even though they heated it up, it's still very nice. Light, airy, fluffy with a perfect chewiness. I would give the croissant from North End a 7.25. Solid croissant. Would have it again. On to the next one. So the next spot we're going to be trying a croissant from is Holey Artisan or Holey Bakery. Their Panau chocolate is one of my favorite pastries, and they do it really well. So we took their plain croissant, and this is what it looks like.
Much smaller than the other one.
Yeah, much smaller than the other ones. Almost like the one in North End, but a little bit bigger than the one in North End. It has a nice crisp. Their pastries are always very, very flaky. Sometimes a little too much. So let's cut into it and see how it's inside. So there are no cutleries. I'm just going to be breaking it. It's a bit on the thinner side, so you can't actually see much inside, but let's just take a bite. Croissant from Holey Artisan. It's very buttery, and I don't know if you could hear the crunch and the crisp. Like, it's super flaky. In some parts, it's way too crispy. Like at the ends, it's just like crisp on crisp on crisp. Very flaky. It's a nice croissant. This croissant from Oro will get a 7.5 from me. Next place we're going to be trying our plain croissant from is Uppercrust, and they do some of the best bakeries in town. Like, I love their dishes, their Swiss brioche, their Basque cheesecake. Do give them a try if you're into pastries. So this is what the croissant looks like. It's pretty nice, crispy. It has a nice glaze. Size is actually pretty decent as well. This is what it looks like inside. A very nice honeycomb. You can see the pockets of air. Let's give it a try. Before I try this, I know I keep mentioning the subtle sweetness because most croissants do have a little subtle sweetness, or they need to. I mean, they don't need to, but it's better if they do. So, which is why I'm looking for the subtle sweetness. I like it. It's my video, my opinion. Very buttery, flaky. Nice crisp on the outside, perfectly chewy. It's actually a very nice croissant, a solid croissant. If I have this with a hot cup of coffee in the morning, I'd be a happy girl. I'd give this a solid 8.5, and probably the highest so far in the video. So it's a good croissant. On to the next one. So the next croissant we're going to be having is from Rose. If you haven't visited them yet, it's very pink, pastel. It's a very nice shop. They also extended, and they're doing like some savory items as well. But we're not here for that. We're here for the croissant. Kind of feeling sick after having so many croissants. Would not recommend doing this in one day. It's a nice shape. It's pretty big. It has a nice crust to it. Let's cut it and see what it's like inside. This is the knife. This is what it looks like inside. It's nice and airy honeycomb. Let's give it a bite and see what it tastes like. It needs a bit more butter.
But
it's a bit dry, but it's flaky with a crisp on the outside. Nice and chewy. 7.5. I give this a 7.5. It's not the best one we've had yet, but it's pretty nice. On to the next one. So our next two croissants, we're gonna do a takeaway because I honestly don't have the time to visit all the places. I wish I had, but I wanna release this video in a couple of days and I don't want to delay. So the next two places is gonna be Leuer and Indulge. We're gonna start with Leuer. So this is their plain butter croissant and we're gonna be trying it. Okay, this is a big croissant. This is what the croissant looks like. It has a nice crusty top layer. I will try to break it in half and show you guys. This is what the inside looks like. Let's take a bite. Dry AF. Why is it so dry? I need water. Very dry. I cannot taste the butter. It is flaky on top, but what am I gonna do with flake if it's not buttery and soft and airy and very nice to eat? It's not a good croissant. So for Bakery Leuer, I give this a 4 out of 10 because I honestly did not like the croissant. It needed more butter. It was really dry. Maybe if I had something to drink with or dip it in, maybe that would have made it better, but yeah, no. Oops. Next, we're going to be trying the croissant from Indulge. I honestly love bakes from Indulge. Like, they do some really, really good bakes. Their cinnamon roll, their danishes, then they started doing like focaccia bread. Superb. So this is the croissant from Indulge. It doesn't have like the crispy texture. I don't think it's gonna be flaky. Yeah, not flaky, but I think it is buttery. Let's see what it looks like inside. I did a bad job in ripping it in half. If you can't see it, let me just taste it. It's not crispy. It's also a little dry. This one's also a little dry. It definitely needs more butter. But it's still better than the one we had from Leuer, so I'm gonna give this a 5. So after trying all the croissants, these are my top 3. So that was me trying to find the best croissant in Dhaka. If you agree with me, do let me know in the comment section below, or if you have some other suggestions, do let me know in the comment section below as well, and maybe I can do a part 2 of it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!